Welcome, my friends, to Apex Legends Escape, the new season that introduces the new map Storm Point set in a tropical location, a new legend which is Ash, and finally the CAR making its way into Apex Legends. A massive thanks to EA and Respawn for giving me the opportunity to get hands-on early with this season and with all this new content to capture gameplay, to give you guys an exclusive first look here on the channel. I had an absolute blast, and I'm really excited to show you guys what you can expect this season. So if you do enjoy this video, leave it a like, subscribe for more content, and let's jump into this. Let's talk about the map. There's a few things I want to kind of highlight in this video. I want to showcase a couple different clips of the map and just kind of showcase that because it is set in a tropical setting. We're in a brand new location. There's some crystal blue waters, a lot of like lush green kind of forestry and whatnot. There's areas that feel more like a jungle, and there's also some new things on this map. So there's these jump pads, for example, that if you go into them, they will launch you like an absolute rocket. And there's one on both sides of basically the launcher, right? You'll have a launcher that shoots you to another launcher so you can go back right away and kind of bounce back and forth. So whenever you find one, there will be one pointing at it from the opposite direction, if that makes sense. And they're scattered all across the map. They're a lot of fun, and it's a kind of easy, quick way to traverse a long distance in a short period of time. So those are an absolute blast. And I just, when you finally jump into one and you shoot out of it like a rocket, you'll see the experience is pretty cool, and it's just a lot of fun. Alongside that, we actually have some creatures roaming around in this map. Two different creatures specifically. We have the prowlers and we have the spiders. So with the spiders, you'll see them marked on your map whenever you're near a location, and whenever you're near a spider nest. And of course, you'll see them in person at different locations. Whenever you see them, if you shoot the nest, all these little spiders will pop out of it and they'll start shooting webs at you and all this crazy stuff. Now, if you kill the spiders, they're going to actually drop all kinds of loot that you can pick up and that are going to be helpful for your match, right? Now, the other thing that I've seen some people doing is using them strategically. So if there's a team chasing you, you can quickly turn around, pop one of those spider nests, and all of a sudden there's a third party involved that the other team has to kind of think about as well. Now, the spider's not overpowered or anything like that, but they do some damage as they shoot webs at you. And like I said, if you kill them, you'll drop all kinds of, different helpful resources and stuff, shields, syringes, different things like that, like a variety of different kinds of gear and things to help you out. So those are the spiders, but then there's also the prowlers. Now the prowlers, if you kill all of them and clear a nest, you'll get some extra special loot, but just like the spiders, if you kill them, they'll also drop some loot upon their death, right? And again, the loot can vary what kind of stuff that they end up dropping, but those are just two different kind of elements that add a really cool dynamic, in my opinion. I like when there's kind of little kind of third-party dynamics like that in a map, right? Where you have some kind of AI sort of creatures like that, and that if you kill them, they do give you some loot. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic that I had a lot of fun with personally. And again, you could just find them scattered out through different locations across the map. So just be on the lookout for those. So apparently this is one of the bigger maps that they've made for Apex Legends, and included in this map is the longest zip line ever in any map across the board. So there's just a lot of cool stuff in this map. I love the setting. I'm a sucker for tropical settings personally, so maybe a slightly biased on that front, but it's a really cool map, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Next up, let's talk about Ash, the brand new legend this season in Apex Legends. So Ash has a really interesting story. I'm not going to spoil it, but basically, we know Ash from the Titanfall universe, and you should definitely check out the story trailer for this character because it's pretty freaking awesome. But let's talk about Ash's abilities and her gameplay. So her passive is called Marked for Death, and Ash's map shows the location of recent death boxes. If you press down on the D-pad on a death box, it'll mark surviving attackers, and you can do that once per box. Now, the tactical for Ash is the arc snare, which you throw a spinning snare that damages and tethers the first enemy that gets too close. So again, that can prove very, very useful in a lot of situations. And then finally, we have her ultimate, which is called Phase Breach, which tears open a one-way portal to a targeted location. So this is not like Wraith, where it's a double-sided portal. This is basically like you teleport to one specific location and you're only going there. You can't return on the way back, right? So basically the way it works is you pull out the sword, you kind of aim somewhere, and it has a pretty lengthy range, if you will. There's actually one time that I tried it. I was far enough back, and I was looking up at this kind of more elevated location, and I was able to get there just barely, but it was a pretty good distance away. And it's just one of those kind of abilities that really adds a lot of dynamic to the gameplay, because it's one of those abilities that creates opportunity, right? You can obviously phase out of a situation, you can phase into a situation, you can phase behind a situation, right? Let's say you're getting attacked head on by some enemies, you can phase right through them onto the other side of them, and suddenly you're behind them and you have them in a pinch. So there's so many different opportunities, so many different ways you can use this ultimate for this new legend, and I had a lot of fun personally hands-on with this legend, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this one too. So for the most part, that pretty much covers Ashe. There's not a lot else to really say. Like I said, there's story elements, but we're not going to get into that in this video. But I liked what I experienced with this character. And once you guys get hands-on, come back to the video. Let me know what you guys thought. Now, last but surely not least, we have finally the CAR SMG making its way into Apex Legends. Of course, this was a huge fan favorite weapon in the Titanfall games, and you can finally use it and get hands-on with it in the Apex world, which is super exciting. Now, the cool thing about this weapon is it uses both heavy and light ammo, so you can stock up on both. You can switch between the two, you know, in real time. It's a really good weapon. I got hands-on with it, a bunch of hands-on with it, and it was a really good weapon in my opinion. Now, obviously, the meta is going to be changing with this new season. There's going to be some nerfs and some buffs, you know, that are going to take place in different forms and different fashions. You could stay tuned for the full patch notes for that, but there's a lot of tweaks that are going to be happening. Some things are getting nerfed, some things are getting buffed, including some legends. Okay, so there's a lot that I think a lot of people are going to be excited for that's going to be changing with this brand new season, and the introduction of the CAR SMG is obviously a great one. Like I said, I don't know really much else to tell you except the fact that it was a good weapon. It slapped. I had a lot of fun with it. It was the fact that it uses both heavy and light ammo was pretty cool as well. And beyond that, there's not really a whole lot else to say. But it's the CAR SMG, and it's finally here in Apex Legends. So that's just a quick first look at Apex Legends Escape, the new map Stormpoint, the new legend Ashe, and the CAR SMG finally making its way into the game. Let me know what you guys think about it all in the comment section below. Again, a massive thanks to EA and Respawn for allowing me the opportunity to get hands-on with this, and a huge thanks to you guys for supporting the content, because if it wasn't for you guys supporting all the content and just the skeleton army as a whole, then these opportunities would not have been possible. So a huge thanks to you guys as well, and stay tuned. I will have a full actual gameplay where, you know, I'm actually commentating it live. I'm getting hands-on. It's my first kind of experience with it all. There's a lot more gameplay than what you've seen in this video, so stay tuned for that. That'll be up shortly as well. And for everything else gaming content, keep it locked. We talk about the games, we play the games here on the channel, and I'll see you guys soon in another one. Stay safe, stay well, and until then, game on.